Hi everyone, and welcome to Noodle Journey. In today's review, I'm going to be tasting Mama's Phở Gà chicken flavor. This is the chicken counterpart to the Mama Phở Ba that I reviewed last time, and so I would recommend watching that review first if you want to hear me talk about what pho is and what to expect from this product. Plus, I talked a lot in that last video, and I want to keep this one a little more brief. Basically, this has the same general spices and ingredients as the Phở Ba, right down to the artificial garnish flavorings, with the main difference being that this is a lighter artificial chicken stock rather than an artificial beef stock. I enjoyed the Phở Ba flavor well enough despite a couple of shortcomings, which you can hear about in that review. As with that one, this variety is pretty easy to find at Walmart or your nearby Asian supermarkets for under $2 a bowl. As with other Mama products, this is a seriously decent value given the product size and the quality of the noodles. This one is pretty salty, weighing in at 2,010 milligrams of sodium, which is 87% of your daily allowance. For those of you keeping score, that is saltier than the beef version by a little bit. Not surprising. If you've ever bought any instant chicken soups before, they are always loaded with salt. Let's pop this open. Inside is that useless little fork again. We've got a block of those great rice noodles under here, the seasoning packet, and an oil packet. As with the beef version, this contains standard pho spices along with dried green onion and carrot, and it is supposed to have some big strips of textured soy protein in here that are intended to mimic chicken. As with the Phở Ba, this is not vegetarian because it contains fish sauce, and it is not gluten-free despite these being rice noodles, so be warned. Just like the other one, to cook this we're going to steep it, so let me add in the broth and the oil, and then I'll take care of the boiling water. Be back in 4 minutes. Okay, time for a stir. Once again, I am noticing that this does smell somewhat in the ballpark of authentic pho as far as the spices go. Looks different, obviously. We got these little chunks of imitation chicken in here. And the broth obviously has a lighter, more chickeny smell. So let's see what it tastes like. Alright, so no surprise here. These noodles are the same as before. Nice and chewy, pleasantly thick, well separated, not gummy or mushy at all. As with the Phở Ba flavor, they are a 9 out of 10 for me. Well done, Mama. I noticed a tiny little bit of spice in the Phở Ba that wasn't really advertised on the package. I'm getting the same little punch of spice here, likely an attempt to imitate the addition of a chili pepper or sriracha as a garnish. It's very mild, and you probably won't notice it, but for that reason, and because you might find the taste of pho spices to be slightly pungent if you're not used to them, I'm giving this a 1.5 out of 10 for spice. And so with all that out of the way, what's the flavor like? Really good. Again, this will never take the place of a slow-cooked restaurant pho with actual bone broth, but it absolutely scratches that itch if you want a fast bowl of pho. The broth is salty, but it is packed with all those other good pho spices without any one of them being too overpowering. It's light and clean tasting compared to the beef broth, and I think there might even be a nice hint of lime in the soup that I didn't notice in the beef bowl. I think the beef broth might have hidden it from my taste buds a little more if it was in there. I also think the fake soy protein chicken works better in this than the fake beef did. These pieces are larger and are close enough to the real thing. Of course, you can always add your own chicken and garnishes to really turn this into something special, but on its own, it's still pretty satisfying. I'm not sure if it's just my mood today, but I think I may actually prefer this chicken pho to Mama's beef pho by a hair. I know beef stock is the more common pho experience, but I think this chicken broth tastes less artificial to me than the beef stock did, and I like the imitation meat in here a little better. And so I'm going to award this an 8 out of 10 as an overall score. So now both of the Mama pho bowls that you might see on American store shelves have been reviewed, and I gotta say I'm a fan of both. For my own personal preference, I think this Phở Gà is a little bit better than the Phở Ba, but really, you'd probably enjoy either one well enough if you don't have the time, money, or inclination to go to a pho restaurant. So do yourself a favor and shell out a couple bucks to try this, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised as long as you keep your expectations in check. Please let me know in the comments if you've tried this and what you think, whether you're new to pho or have a favorite restaurant near you, or if you have tried other instant pho varieties that you can recommend, do share. And as always, please like and subscribe to continue on this noodle journey with me.